Wrong.
What? I love microphones. What? I love microphones.
Harvey, come away from the microphone, please.
Very loud. I like that. It's pretty loud in my ears. How are you, mate? You can put it whichever side you feel comfortable with, my friends. Let's turn around. I think you've got the that bit round the wrong way. There you go. Talk to me. Lift that up a bit. There you go.
I think I'm okay with it. You like it on the right-hand side?
I prefer it on the right because that's when the way I turn, and that's where I've always had it. But it doesn't matter to you if you can switch it to the other side should you wish, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference, mate. Yeah, whichever way you feel more comfortable with. I tend to feel a bit more comfortable on the right for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. I can work with it on the left if necessary, but
I actually do.
Yeah,
on the right-hand side. Yeah,
it's weird. Maybe.
What's that?
Maybe because I'm right brain dominant, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know, whatever nonsense that might be anyway. Good to see the kids out there, isn't it?
It's
great. Loving it, mate. It's like the World Cup final.
You know what? It's takes us back to our kid days and junior days, and it's a wonderful thing.
He didn't score a goal. Yeah. Loving it. All over it.
Your little one's out here?
No. Mine's at the grandma's over there somewhere. So he's at home. Wife's gone to Singapore on a work.
There you go.
On a work thing for a week. On Mother's Day. So we had our Mother's Day Friday.
We did. You did?
Yeah, got the presents sorted and everything like that. So that she could some stuff she could take with her, which was useful.
Here you go, boys.
Oh, hang on. Let me just clean my glasses. Can't see anything. Got sun cream on my specs.
Beautiful.
Excellent job. How's the book going, mate? Sold many?
I haven't done I'm in the process of the second one about my year at the Mariners was done quite well.
What about Riding Shotgun? Did you sell many more?
You know what? It's Bonita's most selling.
Yeah.
But books don't sell that much these days. You know, there's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of.
Did they end up doing it in Spanish for you?
No, I haven't done it yet. But I've translated it to Spanish myself, so I haven't done it yet. But it's one of those ones, Russ, that I think, you know, I had a second book. It's kind of like I wrote it too early. It's an autobiography, and it's kind of like there's still a lot of chapters to go.
But then,
what do you do? Do you do an updated one?
Yeah, 100%. My mate Shane did it. The rugby player, Shane Williams, did his autobiography because he did his ages ago. And last time we went back home to speak to him, we were talking about an update. Yeah. Because since then, obviously, he's done a lot more. Yeah. So I think we're going to look into doing that at some stage with him.
Yeah, I think.
I wrote a book on Kambah United this year.
Yeah, was it good?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's finished.
Has it come out yet?
No, I've just about finished it now, so it's going to go through the proofing stage.
About the
season and the fight to save the club.
Only the season?
Yeah, but the fight to save the club. There's a little bit of historical stuff in there as well to set the context. But it's all about the season and trying to save the club and then how the season went and how the team went, how they built the side and all that kind of thing.
I did that one the first year, you know, alongside Nick Montgomery and then this one is, I'll be honest with you, this one's more... I linked up with Dr. Craig Duncan.
Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah, it should be interesting. Something a bit different.
It's more, you know, if I'm honest with you, mate, it was a really successful football season, but for other reasons, it was one of the saddest years of my life. Yeah, you know, so
sports psychology and everything around that kind of thing, mentality. When people see the top end of it and they think, oh, it's fun and games and it's exciting, but there's an awful lot that goes on that people don't see.
So I wanted to do. I didn't want to do something bitter, like, you know, this is why I left, because I fell out with him. It's kind of, it alludes to things, but it's more an impact and a study on a human, where you can have a real successful football season, and to the outside world, it seems the greatest year of
I haven't got, to be honest, I haven't got your second book yet.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I'll need to have a look at that.
I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
I'll sort that out for you.
That'd be
That's
good,
a good one. That's kind of how I went there with Richard. And then how I've connected with Montgomery and everything, and how we kind of...
Is he at Spurs now?
Yeah, he's the assistant. He's Andrew's assistant. Him and Sergio Raimundo, they were both with us. And
if you could send him a message and tell him to leave Son Heung-min out of the Europa League final, I'll be very happy.
So I forgot.
Tactically, I think I've got a winner for you, mate. Play the under-14s.
Well, I'll just let you on something here. So, believe it or not, I'm on a Spurs coaches.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
check it
okay.
In
So
just tell
Serge, Monty, we're on.
Yeah. So you can tell him like
Russ Gibbs. I'll add Russ Gibbs to it.
Just till the Europa League final. So I've got these great insights for you. I'm thinking, leave out your best players. Ruben needs it. Ruben needs it before you do.
I think it's an intriguing final, mate, because it's the non kind of the not surprise in the room is that both teams haven't been great in the league this year, but a final's a final.
Well, both sides seem to have jacked up. Good afternoon and welcome to Kambah 2, where the sun is out on Mother's Day, and it's a glorious afternoon for the National Premier League Round 5 clash between Tuggeranong United and O'Connor Knights. We're watching the youngsters run around on the field in front of us, enjoying it's like Wembley Cup final here. And speaking of Wembley Cup finals and big days out, my name's Russ Gibbs. Joining me, Andy Purnell again. Andy, last time we were here, what a game that was.
It was an awesome night of football, great cup match, great cup atmosphere, and we were treated to a bundle of goals, and hopefully we can, the two teams today can provide the same sort of excitement and entertainment for everybody here. It's a big game for both teams, and both teams, like to give a few youngsters an opportunity, especially Tuggeranong, but for both sides, important to get the points today. O'Connor coming off a big win the other day, so they'll be buoyed by that.
If it was as entertaining as that, what we just watched there, we're in for a treat, wasn't it?
Oh, mate,
was great fun with the kids.
The little kids. How old are they, Russ?
Don't know, they must be 6 or something like that, under 6s or something,
some
under 7s.
Future Socceroos and Matildas in there, we hope. Tuggeranong always provide one or two.
They're going to provide the mascots in a moment as well for the teams that will join us in just a moment. Before we get into today's game though, Andy, the Clearwaters derby yesterday, Queanbeyan City 2, Monero Panthers 1. You would have got good odds on Queanbeyan City winning that game yesterday. Most people would have predicted a Monero Panthers win. And why? Well, because they'd played 4 from 4. They'd scored 19 goals in the league, and they'd been brushing sides apart, ripping them to pieces as if they weren't a problem. Yesterday, they come up against their local neighbours, and look what happens, and that's football.
Well, it's football, and it's derby football. It's a derby match, and those occasions change. Form goes out the window. They're one-off games and special games, and Queanbeyan City took the points yesterday. Monero will be still kind of reeling a little bit from the exit from the Australia Cup, and a couple of losses. Another loss. It's 2 in a row, and I did go out to see them a few times this season, and at one stage I thought they may even be invincible, but that's football, like you say.
Far from it. I mean, Queanbeyan City has Nico Abbott and then Jack Leverett with a cross shot. He claims it was a shot. I think we all know it was a bit of a cross. Anyway, it is Mother's Day today, so shout out to my wife, Alana, who's just gone off to Singapore with work for a week. So, and shout out to my mum, who's back in England. She won't be able to hear me anyway. But anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my mum. She's in hospital now, but she's comfortable, so she's okay. We've been in to visit her today. My wife's mum, Janie. Isabella, my daughter, who's a mum to 2 fantastic grandchildren of mine. So happy Mother's Day to all of you beautiful ladies.
Yeah, all the mums out here, and there's a fair few of them around. There's been a lot of junior football being played this morning on the fields around us here at Kambah too. The weather won't make its mind up. It is baking hot at the moment. I've got a little jacket on. I'm a bit warm in it, but earlier on it was a bit cooler. It's going to be one of those days, I think. We're getting a bit of an Indian summer. It's unseasonably balmy this time of year, particularly at this venue where it can get a bit cold. Shout out to Cameron Mitchell on the canteen today. Put a roast pork on for Mother's Day with a bit of crackling and everything. It was lovely.
Beautiful. They've just given me a coffee on the house. So
yeah, looking after you.
And that was nice. So I haven't had a bit of pork yet, though, so that's still to come.
Yeah, see if there's any left. He would have put a couple on there, but it might be going very quickly. Tuggeranong United launched their membership today or this week, and you can become a member of this football club for, I think it's $149 to give you a jacket or something you want, and 10% off the canteen, and obviously all the games, and that's great initiative they've got there. Many clubs doing that kind of thing now. They're launching a set of Tuggeranong United cards as well. That's some football cards, the collector's cards.
Yeah, beautiful. I think it's a great idea, and look, I became a Socceroo, but I've managed Carl Valeri and Tom Rogic, who from Canberra, that became Socceroos, and they played for Tuggeranong as kids. So I've always had a little affection and some sort of affiliation to Tuggeranong. I think they've got a wonderful young squad now, and under the guidance of Mitch Stevens. And I've been pleasantly surprised. A few years back, I thought the football was a little negative, and it kind of played into their hands on this pitch, which wasn't as great. But these days the pitch is looking better. Mitch has got them trying to play football all the time, and I've maybe pleasantly surprised is the wrong word, but I've been excited by it. Every time I've come here. I've seen teams, especially Tuggeranong, try and play good football.
Yeah, and they've been playing some good football in the Cup. They've got a Cup semi-final coming up in a couple of weeks at this venue as well against Canberra, Croatia. That will be something to look forward to as well. I'm just getting a little bit of late team news coming in from O'Connor Knights. I'll go through the team with you in a moment, but they've had to make a late change. They were to start Nick Dahl in midfield. He's now switched with Harry Martin. I understand he's running late, Nick Dahl, for personal reasons, but not ideal when you're setting up a team lineup and then you have to make a change at the very last moment.
No, it's but that's how I view the game. If you're not here on time, you don't start the game. So I don't know.
And he's got a personal reason to be there. He rang them up a while ago and said, "Look,
fine.
I don't think I'm going to make it."
Okay.
And he's made it perfectly clear. And I think he would
Fine.
understand that.
Then it's a pretty normal change then.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look through the sides. And Andy started with Tuggeranong United, who we believe are going to go with a 4-1-4-1 today, which is going to be interesting to see how that comes about. Callum Cook will be in goal. The back four will be Nick Emmanuel at right back, Luke Sakamoto at left back, Luke Cole Falco, he of the long throw, alongside Ewan Peterkin in the centre of defence. Josh Pedersen will patrol just in front of that back four. Then a line of four where we'll see Steve Nealon and Luke Stevens wide, Sam Walker and Javier Davis in the middle, and then Romeo Yambreck leading the line. On the bench, Daniel Grove, Dylan Burkray, Alessandro Pena, Zach Lawrence and the sub-goalkeeper Flynn McDonald-Wilson. Interesting lineup. I mean, it's got variables that it can do. Javier Davis can drop. Steve Nealon will no doubt push up. Then it might become four. Sam Walker can drop in the holes. It is very fluid.
It is very fluid. There's with subtle changes there. You can kind of change that back 4-5 around. The midfield can go from diamonds to whatever you want it to be. The front 4-5, I think, are pretty flexible as well. And they'll be hard to beat. They got weapons from set pieces, and the times I've seen them play, they've been really compact and really kind of tidy as a unit. So if they can, I'll tell you what, if they can keep O'Connor Knights from getting the ball in the back of the net, then they really do have some exciting attacking options, Tuggeranong. But so do O'Connor, on the other hand.
And we'll go through that now. They make a change to the team that won 6-0 last week. The return of Lukman Ahmed Shaibu after suspension. Christian Nell starts in goal in what we believe is a 4-3-3. Christian Junner and James Driscoll, the fullbacks. Connor Bill, James Lavella, the central defensive partnership. Harry Martin, as mentioned, comes in for Nick Dahl in midfield. Kobe Yari and Michael Adams in front of him, looking to pull the strings for a front three, which will see Lukman Ahmed Shaibu and Michael John ostensibly wide, with Jenna Cheruti down the middle. Again, likely to be very fluid, those three. On the bench, Nick Dahl, Buddy Abbas, Nico Kresic, Vinny Sanchez and Harrison Palic. Again, Andy, I mean, it's a formidable looking lineup as well. They've hit their straps last week. Whether they can carry that on, well, we'll see.
Well, they did destroy Queanbeyan City, and it was a game that they needed to win and win well, and they did. And looking through their side, they have a lot of players with fantastic experience and players that you would say are some of the better players here in Canberra. And I've been speaking to Davil a little bit, their head coach, and if he can get them, the aim is to get them well connected and organised and working really hard as a team. And if they work really hard together as a team, with everybody firing on all cylinders, they're a real tough team to beat. They're a challenge for a grand final spot if they all are prepared to put in a shift and work for each other. There's a lot of talent in that side.
Well, was last week a one-off, or was it a return to form for the former league champions O'Connor Knights? Nick Tyther, their head coach, not here, of course. He's overseas still, I believe, and Davil Nemeth, as you mentioned, will be in charge. Mitch Stevens in charge of Tuggeranong United. He'll be coming through the throng of kids in front of us in just a moment. Our match officials have already joined us. Hyunwoo John is his first ever NPL middle today for him, so congratulations to Hyunwoo. Harold Spanner and Benjamin Cracknell are our assistants as well. We are waiting for Tuggeranong United to join us for what should have been the 3 o'clock kickoff, which won't be now. We have real problems in Canberra getting games off on time for some reason. The drums are beating.
Why is that, Russ? I've been away for a few years.
I don't know, mate. I mean, maybe the referees' watches are different.
Referees are late.
Yeah, who knows? Everyone was here in plenty of time anyway. This one of 3 matches this afternoon across the National Premier League men's competition. We'll try and keep you up to date with everything that is going on. Of course, over at the AIS it's Tigers versus Canberra, Croatia. Ugali will play Gungahlin United at Solar Mad Stadium. That kicks off at 3 o'clock as well. So get ready for what should be a cracking match.
A couple of good other matches to tune into there, Russ.
Yeah, plenty, isn't there? I mean, my suggestion is get multiple devices out and watch as many as you can. Don't want to miss what's going on. We'll try and keep you up to date with everything that's happening across the other games. 4 matches in the Women's Premier League as well. Really busy afternoon of local football. And all 4 matches of the Women's Premier League will be underway shortly.
Half our crowd's disappeared, Ross, with the
kids going.
The kids, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be back to watch, I'm sure. Women's Premier League games, just to confirm for you today. All 3 o'clock. ANU versus Belconnen, Gungahlin versus Tuggeranong, West Canberra versus Olympic, and at 4:30, Canberra Croatia versus Majura. That's for later. Our focus is very much on the here and now at Kambah. Tuggeranong United seeking to get themselves a rare win against the Knights. They have never beaten them. They met 6 times in the NPL. Knights have won 5. There's 1 draw. Tuggeranong still waiting for their first victory. Will it be this afternoon? We'll find out in 90-odd minutes or so. They're overdue a win.
Look, I think hard to pick this one, Russ. I think both teams have the weapons and ammunition to win this one, and we'll see who wants it most today.
That might be half the battle. We saw yesterday that want and desire can take you a long way. We'll see how it works out this afternoon. There have been 20 goals scored in the 6 NPL matches. Knights have got 16 of them. 21 rather. Tuggeranong have only managed 5. But 4 of them were scored in the 3 games last year, in which the Knights won the first and the second, and the third was a 2-2 draw. But Tuggeranong were all over them in a couple of those games. Here's Walker. First ball down the left, looking for the runner Stevens behind Junner, and he's got there too. Luke Stevens, and it's opened up for him. And only the intervention of Lavella prevented Tuggeranong taking a very early lead.
Great ball and great work from Stevens. Kind of that final decision was just a little bit off, but really positive from Tuggeranong. Tuggeranong starting off this game looking like they want to open the scoring real early.
43 seconds in, that was. Stevens to swing it into the penalty area. Lavella got it away. Walker back through the crowds. So early start, early chance. Luke Stevens doing the business down that far side.
Watched him play in the cup match, and he was the first time I'd seen him play, Russ. He was very decent, impressed me that game. And I'd heard about him. I think he's from Wagga, is that right?
Yeah, he is. He came through. He's actually looking very sharp this season.
Yeah, I think we may have spoken a year or 2 ago before I went off to the Mariners, and he's a kid from Wagga looking for an opportunity. Yes, I think you might have actually put him on to me, and he's
got something about him.
Yes, he certainly has. You know, you get a kid like that in good environments, full-time environments, you never know where they can go.
Emmanuel finds Jabi Davis. Runs into Michael Adams. Looking to pick the pass. Intercepted by Sakamoto. Likewise by Lavella. Here's Michael John, former Tuggeranong United player. Romeo Yambrek. You'll see the sand kick up. That's a bit of an agricultural challenge early on from Lavella. Might be lucky to escape a card. It might be that it's so early that he will.
I think that's the only thing that saved him, that was so early in the match, but it was a great little touch, and then a second touch from Romeo just brought the defender in and brought himself a free kick. And this is where Tuggeranong are dangerous. Whether it's, we spoke about it, and we were raving with the throw-ins, during the cup. But
well, Stevens will take it, and he's going to have plenty to aim for in the penalty area. Falco's gone up there, Peterkin's in there too. Walker is going to make his presence felt. Can Stevens find the right delivery? It's a flat one towards the top of the box. Might come out for Davis. Tried to slide it through. Sakamoto finds Emmanuel. Peterkin. One back by Ahmed Shaibu. First chance for Lukman Ahmed Shaibu. Michael John, the crossfield recipient. Junner outside him. Yari. And offside against Junner. I was going to mention the sand. There is a bit of it floating around on this football pitch.
Yeah,
Before I do, though, there is a goal at Solamad. Ugali 0, Gungahlin United 1, an early one for the Gunners, and there's their goal drought broken in the NPL. 452 minutes it lasted. 492 minutes it lasted.
I wouldn't have expected that from Gungahlin. But
4 minutes today, and they've got on to the perfect start for Gunners down in Griffith. 1-0 up over Ugali. But yeah, there is a lot of sand on this pitch. It's been dumped on top, and you'll see it puffing up occasionally. Other than that, it's not a bad surface here. Connor Bill hooks it clear. Geno Chiruti, another former Tuggeranong boy.
It did look way better the other night during the cup match. And,
it's because it was under lights, Andy.
Maybe,
Under lights,
and, there was no sand spraying around. But pitches like this invariably, they wear thin quickly. You know, there's a lot of games on them. I've never quite understood. I suppose it's a lack of grounds, etc., etc.
First chance for Neelan to get in behind, perhaps. Christian Nell came to get rid of it.
You know, it's the same with O'Connor Knights at O'Connor and Olympic play there as well. You know, by the time the first team plays on the pitch, there's been another 30 games.
First attacking opportunity for Cole Falco to get involved with his long throw. We saw against Ugali how much of a weapon it was. Caused problems for the men from Griffith. Will it cause problems from the men from up the road in O'Connor? Peterkin and Stevens at the near post. Jambrek at the far. It's a long one into the area. Good one towards Romeo Jambrek, who got ahead on it. Couldn't divert it goalwards, but once again, a weapon and a half from Cole Falco.
I like it. You know, I keep repeating myself. We keep repeating ourselves. It's a great weapon for them, and they use it well. And you know, opposition teams need to be really well prepared for it, because it really brings a lot of trouble and heartache into that penalty box that you've got to defend sometimes. So hopefully the O'Connor Knights have been working on that during the week.
I'm sure they're aware of it, but as we said in the cup tie, being aware of it and being able to deal with it, two different things.
That's it.
Stevens wins the header for Tuggeranong. O'Connor won both matches played at Kambah in the past, outscored Tuggeranong 4-1 in the process. Chiruti looking to send this towards Ahmed Shaibu. Nick Emmanuel got there first. Knights claim their first clean sheet of the season last week, having conceded 18 in the 4 matches they played prior to that, which was very much unlike O'Connor Knights, who pride themselves on their defence. They just had a few weeks where they just could not keep them out. Everything seemed to be going in. It happens sometimes, doesn't it, with a team? You could be the most defensive team in the world, but you just seem to forget for 3 weeks how to do it.
And I was there watching them last week as well. Before they actually went 2-3, 4-0 up, they probably had another 3, 4, 5 easier chances to score goals. So I don't know if it was a lack of confidence or just kind of how things plan out at times.
Walker looking for the run of Romeo Jambrek. We'll have a go at Lavella here. He's a confident boy, Jambrek. Finish didn't match that confidence, but at least he's had a go. And a warning sign for the Knights that they cannot afford to drift too far up the park.
It's positive, and it's good signs for Tuggeranong and for O'Connor. There's a couple of boys, Romeo, Stevie Neal, and the other boys that play up front there, in that front 4-5. They're dangerous, and they can hurt you. So the O'Connor Knights are going to have to be really aware of that and on their toes.
Didn't unduly trouble Christian Nell as it went towards the parkway. Peter Reid, long-time servant of this football club as a team manager, playing ball boy behind the goal there, went and fetched it. He's been around a long, long time, Peter Reid. I played with his son, Mark, who's a goalkeeper at this club. He's still here as well, working as a team manager too. Chip off the old block as a strike at goal from Ahmed Shaibu.
When you mentioned Peter Reid there, Russ, I thought you were talking about the England
midfielder.
England
and Everton midfielder. Rather famous for getting Diego Maradona's shirt.
Yes.
After the '86 World Cup quarter-final.
Never played against him, but was lucky enough in a Masters in Bangkok once to play on his side.
I believe that's in your first book, is it not?
Yeah.
There's a moment of thinking of that.
Yeah.
Good win by Josh Pedersen. Combative midfielder Peter Reid. If memory serves me right, Peter Reid was the Everton midfielder who was hacked down by Kevin Moran in the cup final. He became the first player ever sent off in an FA Cup final.
Yep.
For Everton against Manchester United back in 1985. Look at that, pointless things that stick in your brain.
I think it's when you live in England or you're born in that country, or it's kind of things are just part of the fabric of society, Russ.
Well, that's it. If there was a subject of football at school, we'd have been loving that. Unfortunately, I paid more attention to FA Cup finals than I did maths and everything else. It's a rite of passage in the UK as a schoolboy if you need to know all the people who won the FA Cup and scored in them. Anyway.
I think a lot of your life revolves around football clubs and their locations, etc., 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 doesn't it?
Yeah, driven by your parents usually. My dad used to give me football annuals every Christmas.
Did he?
Yeah, when I was a young lad. Long throw into the area, hooked away by Peterkin. Michael John tried to get it under control. Juna can stab it back into the danger area. Easy one though for Cal Cook, who's looking into the sun here in the first half. That might be something to take into consideration a bit later on. It does set immediately across in that far right corner behind where Christian L is defending at the moment, so that will be something to keep an eye on, and that will also cause us to cook and be a little bit unseen a little bit later. That's the nature of this venue. Ahmed Shaibu, Chiruti, Adams, Driscoll, Emmanuel in quickly, Neelan, Driscoll touch tight, and then Neelan too tight. Mitch won't mind that too much. Doesn't get an awful lot of what you would say the physical aspect of the game at Stevie Neelan, but seen a bit of it there.
That's one part of his game that we're working on. And
a bit overly aggressive that time.
I thought it was a good tackle.
Would have been all right if there was any ball involved.
Like I said, I thought it was a good tackle.
Stevens has got some space here. Only Neelan to hit. Good cut back there for Jambrek. And he tried to link up with Neelan. Tuggeranong looking positive going forwards. The Knights are as well, though. Early stages of this one. Connor Bill. James Driscoll. It's that warm, man. You're going to have to take off my little jacket.
It is the...
Good win by Pedersen. He forces his way through. Neelan. Walker swung a boot at it. Harry Martin, late call-up. As I mentioned, got rid of it. Here's Chiruti. He's a handful in his day as well, Jenna Chiruti. Big presence up top. Scores goals as well. He's got a fair record. He's got 18 of them in the NPL.
Saw him, I think it was Monero Panthers last season. And I agree with you. I thought a real handful.
Lovely touch from John Juna to swing it across, and not his best heads in hands moment. Yeah, physical size to him, decent touch as well, reasonable turn of pace as well. Can be a real problem.
I like him. He's
could bring you news of another goal at Solomat, where it's now Ugali 1, Gungahlin United 1. Ugali back on terms. Opening 10 minutes of that one, and 2 goals already. Important goals as well. The league table, incidentally, before we came today: Croatia 12, Panthers 12, Tigers 7, Tuggeranong 5, Queanbeyan 5, O'Connor 3, Gungahlin and Ugali 2 apiece. Not a lot in it.
So the Panthers are still up there.
Yeah, they only lost once. I mean, they've got 12 points. They will be hoping for a Tigers win today. If the Tigers do get a win today, we do get a very congested league table. They need to win today, the Tigers. They're 5 points behind Croatia at the moment, and Croatia have a game in hand. So if Croatia get a win today, that gap moves to 8, and then, of course, the game in hand could even be 11, which would be very hard for Tigers' title hopes, even at this early stage. Walker fouls Martin. And whilst it's not the be-all and end-all 5 rounds in, Andy, you don't want to be playing too much catch-up, do you?
No, you look, but it's a very, I don't know if it's the right word, strange league, but it's anybody can beat, everybody can beat everybody in this league, from what I've seen.
Yari to swing the free kick in, nice shape on it. Javi Davis won the header. I think that's the benefit of it on their day. I mean, considering it's essentially amateur semi-pro football, anyone can beat anyone depending on what day it is and what they've been doing and how everyone's feeling. Best laid plans and all that. Driscoll. Oh, is that handball? Yes, it is. Ewan Peterkin's arm was quite high up. He's claiming it hit him on the armpit. But if it did hit him on the hand, I don't think there's any other option than a penalty, Andy.
No, it didn't look good from here for Tuggeranong, and certainly without the benefit of VAR, Russ, we're kind of back to the good old days of referee's decision.
And from where we were, it looked like a cast iron penalty. Happy to be proven wrong if anyone can. Michael Adams will take this. Meanwhile, Ugali have scored again. Ugali 2, Gungahlin 1 at Solarmad. Turn around there for the home side. Michael Adams from the spot for O'Connor Knights. He's usually Mr. Reliable, is the O'Connor Knights captain. And here he is up against Callum Cook, and he slides it home. And the Knights have the start they wanted. 16 minutes in, and Michael Adams on the score sheet. Tuggeranong 0, Knights 1.
Good penalty. Sometimes they're never easy to take penalties. There's always a little bit of pressure, and it was a nice, cool, calm slot from Michael. He's a good player, and not many better to step up and take the penalty for you.
Well, this is an incredible statistic. In 3 NPL matches last season, there were 5 penalties that were scored, 4 by the Knights and 1 by the Tuggeranong in this fixture. And here we are, in this fixture, another penalty awarded. So that's 6 penalties in the last 4 games between these two. Quite remarkable.
Will we see more?
Well, quite possibly, the way that's going, averaging almost 2 a game. It's an incredible statistic. But Michael Adams did not look like missing.
No.
And in case you missed it, Ugali 2, Gungahlin 1. They were 1 down, they're now 2-1 up. We'll bring you news of those goal scorers around half-time when we get them. Connor Bill for the Knights to swing it away. Emmanuel up. And I'm sure those of a Tuggeranong persuasion will try and tell us otherwise, that it wasn't a penalty. But it looked quite damning from this angle. Walker. A loose touch from him.
At this level, without VAR, you've got to go with the ref. And
but he was well positioned, wasn't he, Hyunwoo John?
That he was.
Ewan Peterkin's had a horrible couple of weeks in giving away penalties. Gave away the penalty here against Ugali in the cup. Gave away the free kick that CO equalised from as well. Now he's given away another penalty. As a player who's played in those defensive positions, now, did you sometimes feel that everything's going against you on those occasions?
There are times that you'll have a run of games where you do feel the world is again. I remember there was one particular 10-day period in the UK where I got sent off 3 times over 10 days. I think it was 3 games, and for second yellow cards and things like that. So, didn't mean to do anything. It was kind of, did I think 1 or 2 might have been a little bit harsh? Yeah, but it kind of
everything that could go against you did.
It seemed to just anything I touched or did was not good.
Yeah, it didn't turn to gold. Ewan Peterkin has been around long enough to try and shake that off, though. It's not about ball forward. Nealon hasn't been involved as much as he might have liked to the early stages. Definitely not as much as the Tuggeranong faithful would have liked. change around the league table. Ugali have gone to 5 points with a 2-1 lead at the moment. Knights would have gone to 6, one above Tuggeranong. Early stages in the league season, but we love a little as it stands table. I'm getting a mention that it looks like it hit his chest and bounced upwards into his arm, which I don't know. I mean, you can give them either way these days, can't you? Arm was high. So it's sent to us from afar. Pedersen's won it back. Now here's Jambrek. And Walker has a go. Lacks the pace to trouble Nell, but better from Tuggeranong. That was from Matt Faulkner up in Brisbane watching. Thanks, Matt. Having a little bit of an analysis of it.
Do you think he could have taken a touch there and
that Mason score
off the strike? It was,
potentially, but I mean, Walker's got it in his locker to put those ones away. I think that's what Mitch Stevens would have wanted, though, wasn't it? A response of that ilk.
Tell you what, you weren't wrong with this sun. It's quite. It's nice on a Canberra winter day.
It's all right for you with your Mediterranean tan,
mate, I've had to go get my hat.
Us of British stock tend to
feel it a bit more.
Feel it a bit more, yeah. A little bit of burning going on. Love a winter tan. It's usually red for me.
You were white when we started.
Absolutely.
Going kind of orangey red.
I forgot my sunscreen. Tuggeranong United sorted me out. Thank you very much, guys, for lending me some sunscreen. Didn't think I'd need it today, but more for me. Xabi Davis. That's out of play. Yeah, you're all right. You've got that Spanish background, haven't you?
Yeah, just
topping up, my friend.
I turn black, mate. I stay out in this for a while.
Yeah, topping up your tan on a winter's afternoon. It is incredibly unseasonable this time of year. Usually after Anzac Day, it's freezing down here in Canberra. But it's a lovely afternoon for Mother's Day. Crowd enjoying the sunshine. Maybe not the result for the most of these guys here at the moment. And gentlemen and ladies watching the game, they'll all be back Wednesday week for the Cup semi-final. Tuggeranong United versus Canberra, Croatia at this venue, live on Capital Football YouTube. The night before, Queanbeyan City versus Tigers from South Jerrabomberra Regional Sporting Complex. Both those games live on the Capital Football YouTube channel. Can't wait for those. Can't wait for Women's Cup football next week. Come to that in a minute. Neelan gets in behind for the first time and can look to tee something up. Harry Martin away. Women's Cup football Tuesday night. Canberra, Croatia versus West Canberra Wanderers. Semi-final at Deakin Stadium. Kelly Sturton will join myself for that one. And on Wednesday at the AIS, Canberra Olympic versus Belconnen United. Canberra United head coach Anthony Jagarinitz will join me for commentary on that one. Women's Federation Cup semi-finals. Love a bit of cup football. Falco with the latest long throw. Well, nudge in the penalty area. I don't think Peterkin's going to get anything. Just have a quick word, the referees. Falco to take again. What can he do this time? They've got the American. So launched another one in there. And it's a penalty to Tuggeranong. A shove in the back of Peterkin. Well, he let the referee know about it in the first instance. And Humu John kept his eye on it. And he's given a penalty to Tuggeranong United. Well, is that a touch of evening it up? We will see. Andy Burnell, your thoughts?
We did say there might be another penalty. And here we go.
I could tell you again, much before remember the last penalty? Ugali scored. They've done it again.
Yep.
Ugali 3, Gungahlin 1 now down in Sonamad. You say lightning doesn't strike twice. Well, it does, because Ugali have struck twice while there's been 2 penalties awarded here. Now then, a chance for Tuggeranong. Steve Neelan's usually the man from the spot. Romeo's got it under his arm. And you hand it over to Steve Neelan. Tuggeranong's goal machine. 3 in the league, 5 in the cup so far this season, 8 in total. And he's looking to bring his team level midway through the first half. Neelan against Nell. Can he replicate Adams' spot kick? It's Stevie Neelan. It's a good spot kick. And Tuggeranong are back on terms. The Knights will feel it was a bit controversial. The hosts will feel it is honours even in that respect. And it's honours even on the scoreboard, 1-1.
It is, 1-1. 2 good penalties. First one from Adams, second one from Stevie Nealon. Clinical, both of them. And we're back to 1-1. And in what has been a really even game, Russ.
6 goals in his last 4 matches for Steve Nealon now. That's his 9th in all competitions this season, Andy. 6 of them have come in the second half of games, so he's not usually a first-half footballer, Stevie Nealon, but
no, he's
got himself a goal in the first half today.
But he's got a good motor and he's fast, and he's a real dangerous weapon when teams are starting to get tired. So O'Connell will have to watch him all afternoon.
And when you've scored 8 goals already this season, you take a penalty like that, don't you? Full of confidence.
Oh, look, it was a real good penalty.
Xabi Davis, now Tuggeranong looking to turn the screw themselves, and Davis has got a yard here. Nealon's bursting down this right side, and Stevens is down the left. Luke Stevens against Junna. Half-hearted shouts for handball. Don't think they're going to get another one.
Thought of, was it close to the penalty box?
This game, as I said, last year, 3 games, 5 penalties. So in the last 4 games, 7 penalties. It's just extraordinary. Could not make it up. Romeo Jambrek.
I did say, will we see another one, Russ?
Well, you were spot on, weren't you? Yeah. do you want to go again?
Oh.
Peterkin. Not often you'd see 3 given in one game. It's happened a few times before.
After what we witnessed in the cup match, Russ, anything is possible, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had Kambah, Croatia, and Tuggeranong through way earlier than what really happened. And
yeah, I had it written off for you, Garley. Nobody's writing them off there at Solar Mad, are they? 1-0 down now, 3-1 up, and Garland's season. Well, they're out of the cup now. They're in the league. They've got 2 points. And with the goal they've scored today, they've scored 1. They've conceded 11. The way it stands at the moment, they are going to be bottom of the pile.
Relegation.
Stevens to send it in.
Is it too early to call a relegation battle?
Well, never too early, I think, is it, with the teams? We thought it last year with Kambah Olympic. Thought it might be too early to call them all the way through until it happens. Connorville, Ahmed Shaibu.
The thing is, Russ, if you're down there, you're a chance.
Adams, Ahmed Shaibu with the ball. Emmanuel dealt with it. That's all he could do, really. Hook it out of play as that sun makes an appearance over the top of the stands. Cheruti. No one wants to dive in. Adams sets it back for Harry Martin. Good block by Xabi Davis again. And he's found Jambrek. And look at the room out wide if he can get it there. And he couldn't because of the work of Michael John in the first instance and then Lavella. Otherwise Stevens might have been away. Here's Yari at the other end. Looking to cause issues and wins the corner. Good block that because they're 3 up on the run.
Block, yep. Romeo gets that pass away. I think it was Romeo, if he gets that pass away.
Might have been in business.
Yep.
Yari with the set piece. Opportunity to swing this in to the penalty area. Plenty of nice shirts to aim for. It's over the top of them all. Cheruti got there in the first instance. Won't sit for him. Trying to get his shot away. Eventually did. Junna has a go. And Cook pushes it over. Not the most confident of defending from Tuggeranong.
No, I wasn't. I was expecting them to get out to that ball and close it down a little bit more. You know, you've got to get out there quickly and put your body on the line. And they gave Junna a whole lot of time, and they nearly made them pay.
Yari again. Deeper one this time. Ahmed Shaibu leapt a bit early. Might come here for Lavella. Well, he pulled the trigger. And that's the finish of a player who's never scored a goal in 35 NPL games.
Again, defending not that convincing.
It certainly wasn't, was it? Nobody really took command of it in there. Latest scores elsewhere. No score in the Tigers versus Croatia game in the Premier League. As I mentioned, 3 goals already for Ugali, 3-1 up in their match against Gungahlin United. 1 apiece here, of course. "26 minutes gone in the Women's Premier League. ANU 0, Belconnen 4. Fair to say that Belconnen have those points in the bag already. Gungahlin lead Tuggeranong United just before the half-hour mark in their match by 2-0. The sun beats down on top of us here. West Canberra Wanderers 1, Canberra Olympic 1 in the other Women's Premier League game that's in action at the moment. So Gungahlin and Belconnen looking good for the points in the women's. Canberra Olympic and West Canberra Wanderers sharing the spoils at the moment. Sad news about ANU women's team in the week, having to pull out of the competition after round 7.
They did?
Yeah, so they've got 3 matches left. They're going to see out the first set of fixtures, and then that'll be the end of them, unfortunately. They just cannot get the players. But they agreed to see the games out to give everyone a fair chance of playing them, which was good of them. And gives those players a chance to put themselves in the shop window for potential transfers in June. We hope they all find a club.
So they had players when they started the competition?
Yeah, I think so, but they were struggling a little bit at the beginning. They lost a lot of them to Madura and struggling to replace them. And, of course, with the university holidays, etc., it became apparent they couldn't carry on. They made the decision themselves. Hope some of them will drop down to their state league sides, and I think a few of them might get transferred to other Premier League clubs. We will see. But they're struggling at the moment. 4-0 down against Belconnen. Mind you, Belconnen have given a few teams a touch-up this year in that women's competition. Here's Connor Bill at the back to send it forward. Nick Emmanuel looking into the sunshine, much like we are.
Yep, he's done really well at the end, but he probably should have cleared it initially with his head.
And he's given it away, and here's Ahmed Shaibu. It's going to come out for Yari. Walker back, only as far as Harry Martin, who fancies it from distance. Off the head of Walker. Should be easy for Cook. If I told you this before, Kobe Yari, I believe, played international football for Papua New Guinea.
He did?
Yeah. I think it was Papua New Guinea, one of the youth teams. You pick for the South Sea Islanders. That can't be bad, can it?
No.
Your heritage.
And, back in my day in Canberra, we were graced by a kid called Manus Lamond from Papua New Guinea. And we brought him, Canberra City brought him down from Papua New Guinea. He went on to play for Sydney United up front with Robbie Slater and Graham Arnold, and is probably one of the greatest soccer players I've ever come across in Australia or overseas.
Oh, really?
At one
there
stage, Johnny Warren thought he was that good. He took him to Sao Paulo in Brazil to train with them and meet Pelé.
It's funny how these link stories.
There you go.
People at home be thinking we set that one up. We certainly didn't. To look him up tonight. What was his name again?
His name was Manus Lamond.
Manus Lamond, okay.
And if you talk to any of Socceroos from that era, Graham Arnold, Mark Bosnich, any of them, they'll tell you what an absolutely wonderful talent. But
here goes Jabi Davis. We're going to slide one through for Neelan, who's taken over the role vacated by Jambrek at the moment. They've switched as we anticipated they might. At the moment, not much between these teams. 1 apiece on the scoreboard. How about this for a scoreline down at Solar Mad? Ugali 4, Gungahlin 1, half an hour in.
Wow.
Roof has fallen in on Gungahlin United. They are getting battered.
Did they just lose a lot of players in the off-season?
They lost a lot of players in the off-season, nearly all of their squad. In fact, I've mentioned this on commentary before. There are 12 different goal scorers in the Premier League last year when they won it. This man, the Golden Boot here, Lukman Ahmed Shaibu, of those 12, only, I think, 3 are left at the club, and one of them is long-term injured. Yari from Adams' ball, and Cook came to meet him.
Keeper did well.
Yeah, so I think going into this season, only 2 players at their club had scored 1 goal each in the Premier League last year, and that's where their issue's been. They brought Luca Flores in to try and solve that problem, but there are underlying issues elsewhere, and they are getting hammered there today, and who knows how many that might end up. Their bench is very slim today as well. It's a lot of youngsters on it for Gungahlin. could be a long afternoon and a long old journey back from Griffith. Yari as for the Knights as they seek to re-establish their lead. Again, the delivery's really good. Ahmed Shaibu got up early. Jambrek missed it in the first instance and then whicks it away in the second.
Tuggeranong have got to get out here quicker.
Well, they've stayed deep, haven't they?
Yeah. You gotta.
Whether that's a ploy, I'm not sure, because of the pace of the Knights. Martin?
I don't know. It can cause you a lot of problems.
Cook, looking for Emmanuel, will do well to keep it in. Davis, who started the game sharply. He looks a player, doesn't he, Jabi Davis? He's been one of the Tuggeranong's midfield mainstays over the last 2 seasons.
Like him a lot. I asked someone at Olympic the other day why they let him go, and yeah, I wasn't able to get an answer. There was a million answers that didn't give me anything. But he's
enjoying his football here.
But he looks a really good player. He's one of these. Watch his attack.
Sakamoto on the overlap from wing back.
He's one of these players like Busquets, that just seems to have time and space, or creates time and space for himself. He always looks comfortable, and another one that I think could play at high levels. If he became that athlete, that's able to play at those high levels. He certainly has the brain and technical know-how to adapt.
Jambrek will take the corner. Plenty to aim for, a whole cluster of players in front of the goalkeeper. It's over the lot of them, and it was won by Falco, who met it well, couldn't really direct his header, unfortunately, for the Tuggeranong centre-back.
It's one of those games where it may open out a little bit in the second half, but certainly both teams are susceptible to set pieces, to conceding from set pieces. Both teams don't look extremely comfortable defending them, so I'd be surprised if a goal didn't come from one, Russ, at some point.
Vela pops it forward. Adams helped it on to Ahmed Shaibu. Fighting away there with Davis. Here's Adams. Happily to take on his man. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Well recovered by Emmanuel. Free kick goes against Michael Adams. Fair to say he doesn't agree, but how good was the drop of the shoulder and the change of pace?
I think, while you comment on that one, I think it was fantastic defending. It was...
Well, nothing wrong with the defending. I'm just saying the drop of the shoulder was excellent in the first instance, and then Emmanuel's recovery was superb.
How about
football was the winner?
How about a great piece of football?
Football was the winner.
A great moment.
Good example as well, though, from a fullback, Ali, beaten by his player, stuck to the task, won it back for his team.
Didn't give up, and that's one of his character traits. He just keeps going all the time.
Neelan backing himself against Connor Bill, who's probably happy to get a toe on it. Doesn't want to get caught in a foot race with Stevie Neelan. Not many do.
No, not many do.
Here comes Cole Falco again. We all know what's going to happen. 38 minutes in, Falco's seeking to make one of these count. Ewan Peterkin's gone down again in the middle, wanting to let the referee know that he's being shoved every time. Not sure he'll get another one, or will he? Falco launches it towards Peterkin, who's up, and Nels missed it completely. Peterkin went down once more, shouts for a penalty. A little bit of afters in there too, between Lavella and Peterkin. And Falco's got the propensity to do this again. We might be in for a fun afternoon.
Another throw. Do you have a stat on how many of these?
No, I don't, unfortunately, but he takes so many, doesn't he? And every one of them, that one's got a bit of bend on it too for Peterkin, who wins it. And the free kick goes against Ewan Peterkin. It is such a weapon. That's some clearance from Nell as well. Well read by Sakamoto. Stevens, Davis.
Causes all sorts of problems. Fantastic work from Xavi.
He just drifted past Harry Martin and again. And he's found Jambrek. Wants to drop the shoulder and try and take him on. Instead, he has to go back to Emmanuel. Josh Pedersen. Emmanuel. Walker. Going to slide it through. Wasn't quite on. Jambrek's won it back, though. It's come for Nick Emmanuel, who's had a snapshot. Will drift wide of the post. Unlucky from him. Gives us a chance to let you know what's happening elsewhere. Ugali, as I mentioned, enjoying an afternoon. 4-1 up against Gungahlin United. What a match they're enjoying. Still 1-1 with West Canberra in their match. NU nil, Belconnen 4 still. That flick on is looking for Ahmed Shaibu, who's causing a nuisance for himself. They want a free kick, and Connor Knights want more. They wanted a penalty. Not sure about that from where I was.
No. He did do well to try and get the referee's attention, but it was not a penalty.
They can argue all they like. So as you were in the Women's Premier League, 4-0 to Belconnen, 2-0 to Gungahlin over Tuggeranong, 1-1 West Canberra and Olympic. 0-0 still at the AIS. One apiece here, and Ugali looking in good shape. Lots to keep an eye on, isn't there? The game in the 23s before this finished 2-2. Entertaining football match. Stevens. Falco. Lavella has it. Good stretch from Cole Falco.
Good defending.
Walker. Sakamoto for Tuggeranong. United haven't kept a clean sheet now for 5 matches in all competitions. Think about random stats. Michael Adams scored 3 goals in 3 games against Tuggeranong last season. He's now got another against them. Loves playing against this team.
At this ground?
Well, he's usually the penalty taker, as we know. At this ground last season, he did score 2 penalties. There was 3 penalties in that game. It finished Tuggeranong 1, Knights 2. Stevie Nealon scored a penalty for Tuggeranong, equalising a penalty from Michael Adams, who then went on to score another penalty to win it 2-1. So there's your template. That we've already got the Adams penalty, the Nealon penalty, and there'll be one more for Adams to win it, maybe.
Penalty City.
Yeah, penalties all over the place. You have a penalty, I'll have a penalty. Everyone gets a penalty. Maybe it comes with the ticket.
I think...
You asked Mitch Stevens about it. Last year there was about 14 penalties in Tuggeranong games. Quite often our midweek conversations were around how many penalties were awarded. And to be fair, he sent me a video of them all. And for the ones they got as well, it was some were a bit dubious. And he said, well, you know, it's one of those things. They seem to just be giving them for some reason. Anyway.
That's a great turn.
Stevens in the middle of the park. Jabi Davis. What can he do? Again, just drifts past Yari Yari. It's asking a fair bit of Sakamoto. Coming up to the final 2.5 minutes of the first half. Not much in the contest. Scoreline reflects it. Chiruti gets the free kick for the Knights. There's been a lot of free kicks awarded in this game. It's not really got going as a contest.
A lot of free kicks and a lot of quick turnover. You know, I really... both sides, I think if they tweak their formations a little bit, I'm not going to say it on air, I have my ideas. If whoever tweaks their formation in a particular way that I'm thinking, you know, and decides to be a bit braver with the retention of ball and better with the retention of ball and keep it for more than 1 or 2 passes, we'll win this game.
Junna's ball in, Cole Falco away. You can give us your ideas, mate. That's why you're here. You can tell us what you think. Tuggeranong United have switched theirs slightly with Jambrek and Nealon going to 2 up front with it looks like Walker just behind. So I think Adams drifting through the defence again. It's going to come out here for Yari Yari. Can he get his shot away? With dancing feet to get through Kobe Yari Yari. Nowhere to go. Junna to send it in and Davis away. Yeah, they have tweaked it slightly, haven't they?
Yeah, and see, Tuggeranong started with one up front and it's kind of 4 in behind there, and it wasn't working. For me at this level, if you can almost create a scenario where...
We'll come back to it in a minute. It's Chiruti has a go. Sorry, Andy.
If you can almost create a scenario where you've got as many forward players matching up against defenders, so you get a lot of one-on-one battles, I think that's the way to go at this level.
They back themselves in the one-on-one battles, the Tuggeranong boys. Mind you, so would O'Connor.
Because if there's times where both teams started off where there was 3 defenders against, one up front, and very difficult to play like that, I believe, unless your support players are absolute machines.
Coming up to half-time. Chiruti bouncing through. Kobe Yari with it. Justin slapping on the sunscreen into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Knights would love this to go in. They'd love to take a lead into the break.
Always dangerous moments, these, just before half-time.
Yari to lift it in. It was Ahmed Shaibu who was aiming for. Cole Falco won it. Back from Yari. Might break for Michael John. Snapshot was good, as was the reaction from Callum Cook. Smart save from the goalkeeper. It
was a very good save.
Distribution's not bad either to find Romeo. Jan Breck.
We could have one last throw-in.
Is Cole Falco going to come across? He is making his way across. How many has he got in arms of his? Judging by what we saw last week, probably about 150.
That is a stat you'll have to... Like how many by the end of the season?
Yeah, how many does he think he can throw in? I mean, doesn't seem to tire, does he?
No.
Here he goes again. Well, as much as I said O'Connor would love to lead at half-time, Tuggeranong would as well. This might be the final opportunity of the first 45 minutes. Deep one from Falco towards the far post. No one there in a Tuggeranong shirt. Comes out for Neelan. And that comes off Lavella. Neelan again. Turning in. Manuel for the overhead. Comes for Peterkin. Great block. Lavella. And it's the last action of the first half and a vital piece of defensive work from James Lavella at the end there, Andy. Otherwise, Ewan Peterkin might have been putting Tuggeranong in front.
Well, I think the fact that he let it drop a little bit and tried to hit it with his right foot, if he hits it with his left foot, I don't think Lavella would have got across and to cover that. But that's how the ball fell, and I think it's heading into a wonderful second half.
Yeah, honours very much even in the first half.
Yeah, I think so.
Penalty apiece on the board, as seems to be the nature of the game when these two play each other. It's half-time, and Michael Adams' penalty gave O'Connor the lead. Steve Neelan's penalty levelled it up, and here at Kambah 2, it's Tuggeranong United 1, O'Connor Knights 1. Welcome back to Kambah 2, where the sun is still beaming down on us here as we're at half-time in this National Premier League match between Tuggeranong United and O'Connell Knights. I'm Russ Gibbs. Andy Burnell will be back joining me very shortly indeed. I can give you some half-times around the grounds. Well, it is half-time in Solamad in Griffith. Ugali 4, Gungahlin United 1. Gungahlin United led early, now they're 4-1 adrift. Kambah Croatia 0, Tigers 0 in the other game that's being played in the men's today. Half times in the Women's National Premier League. West Canberra Wanderers 1, Canberra Olympic 1. NU 0, Belconnen United 6. And Gungahlin United 5, Tuggeranong United 0. Andy, I watched the goals back from the match down in Solamad. Luca Flores gave Gungahlin the lead from a penalty, day for penalties. Danny Reid scored to equalise for Ugali, then a brace from Jay Stotson, and then Danny Reid again, the imports doing the job for Ugali, 4-1 up at half-time there. One apiece here, so if you're interested, this is how we stand at the moment. Kambah Croatia 13, Monero Panthers 12, Tigers FC 8, Tuggeranong 6, Queanbeyan City 5, Ugali 5, O'Connell Knights 4, Gungahlin 2.
Well, this game is anybody's, Russ, and I'm not surprised at the Ugali score. One, it's a tough place to go to. Second, they've got a good team led by Luke Sanselin, and I really liked, their performance here against Tuggeranong, despite being the losing team that night. Showed a lot of grit, a lot of good football, a lot of character, and you throw in for teams from the capital having to go there and travel and play. It's not an easy trip, so I would expect them to, if I was Luke, I'd be upset if I didn't draw or win most of my games in Griffith. Yeah,
they're a tough old team to beat down there. I mean, Tuggeranong United got 3 points down there. They're the first team to do so this season. Tigers were 2-0 up there and drew 2-2, and Gungahlin are getting a touch-up. One apiece here, though, penalty apiece. In the first half, no real changes from either side in the second. O'Connor, the men in black, attacking the goal to our right where that sun is dropping down. When it drops down behind the trees, I feel our jackets might be going on. It will drop temperature quite quickly.
When it drops behind the trees, we could be in paradise, mate, because it's actually a really nice early evening, late afternoon for football.
I've heard Kambah 2 called many things, Paradise not one of them. Many for away fans, away players even.
Sometimes when you're born in Canberra and you want to go play on big stages, you kind of have to create your own paradises, Russ.
Absolutely. Theatre of Nightmares, this one's called. Cole Falco over the top of it. Again, and another launched into the penalty area that almost bounced that time. Juno got rid of it. And that was from close to halfway. Driscoll.
I just got told, I don't know how true it is, that he practices those throws with medicine balls.
So he can throw a football further.
Now,
yeah, well, that would make sense.
I might look like a complete fool, for having said that. I don't know. But,
well, look, I mean,
do you know him?
I would believe that. Yeah, I'll check it out. But I would believe that, because if you can throw a medicine ball, then this is going to feel like like one of those tennis balls to you. Anyway, here he goes again. Yet another one to line it up in front of the Captain America shield into the penalty area, but down and out. It's like a Captain America shield over on the fence on the far side. Don't know if he's popped in to watch the match.
Is it the first time you've seen
Steve
it,
Rogers? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe, I think he was here for the Cup game, actually. Maybe he's moved to, Steve Rogers moved, is that his name? I think it was, moved to Kambah. Over on holiday. Pedersen, superheroes have to go on holiday too, Andy.
That's it.
Yari, Chiruti, Ahmed Shaibu, Peterkin away. A lot of conjecture at half-time about the penalty that Ewan Peterkin gave away. Many thought it did come off his armpit and up into his arm, but I countered with, well, what's the arm doing up there in the first place? You make it, the referee, you give the referee a decision to make with your arm being up there, don't you?
Yes, and watching it from here in real time, it did look like a penalty.
You can see why he's giving it.
Yeah,
100%. You could slow down the replay and have a look at it 100 times and you might come to a different conclusion, but from the angle we were at, the referees, that looks like a penalty. Anyway, they got one back, which felt a little bit soft. I mean, it was a bit silly from the defence. I mean, you've been warned 30 seconds before not to push a player over and then to put two hands in the back. Just giving the referee another easy one to make.
Tuggeranong, I'll be looking for them all afternoon from now on.
Cole Falco. Not a good return ball from Pedersen, and they played themselves into trouble here, and Ahmed Shaibu can break. And he can find Michael Adams, who loves these kind of pockets of space, to be able to deliver, just drifts past his man. Can't get past the ball from Falco. Good ball in, though, and Peterkin nods it away. Davis leaves it for Walker. Neelan will come across, scampering to get it. Lavella beaten to it. Physical challenge with Davis. Lavella's gone early. Not hanging around. Here he is, still Adams.
Tell you what, Tuggeranong, they're doing their best to help O'Connor Knights here get themselves a second goal. A little bit of a sloppy, scrappy start to the second half.
Pedersen goes long. Jambrek with Junna. Will be a Tuggeranong ball. Benches might play a part, I'm sure they will later on. Tuggeranong will be in no rush to get this. Guess what's coming? Cole Falco wandering down to take another one, and it's a good area, this one. Peterkin will jog into the penalty area. This is pretty much the spot where Romeo Jambrek volleyed in on the far post against Ugali in the cup tie. Butterfield take up a similar position. It is into the area. Lavella unmarked to clear it. Dinked back by Davies. Yari's won it. Looks to spring something the other way with Michael John. Continued his run, Yari, but great recovery from Emmanuel. Not for the first time, Nick Emmanuel. Martin. Chiruti. John. Twisting and turning.
Was this the ground you played on?
It was, yeah.
Was there a particular end that you liked
the bottom
going into the second half?
Well, as we're looking at it now, the bottom left-hand corner tends to slope upwards a bit. Quite liked attacking. To be fair, though, I quite like attacking the street end in the second half. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe because of the sunshine. I'm not sure, but
it's funny how minds work. I kind of look at this pitch now and I think I'd want to be attacking that one.
I didn't mind so much. Didn't leave the penalty here very often, to be honest. It's narrower than it was. It used to be a little bit wider.
Was it?
Yeah, they've narrowed it a couple of metres either side this year. Sports Grounds did it. I think it's to preserve the field somewhat. It's narrowed the pitch off, which is probably playing into Tuggeranong's hands a bit, especially with the long throws. It's always been a decent venue. They've actually added some really nice touches here, the corner flags and the dugouts and everything, since I last played here a long time ago. Good win back by Yari. Touch from Ahmed Shaibu. Space for Chiruti. Might fancy it here and off. Got it all wrong. Opened up for Jano Chiruti. He's got it in his locker to hit it from there. You could see what he was trying to do, but went for power over placement and might have been better going the other way around.
He'll be disappointed with that in the end. At least hit the target. At least make the keeper have to do some work. And he's better than that, and he'll know that. One of those things.
That's exactly it, isn't it? You've got to make the goalkeeper work in those scenarios. He didn't. Early starts of the second half all around Canberra. So many matches today. Junna. Good ball in, and it's come off Yari. He was completely unmarked there for a moment, the midfielder. Knights have started the second half brightly. Martin can't force his way through. Good defensive work by Sakamoto. And here goes Jambrek. Neelan outside. Keeps himself onside. Steve Neelan to have a run. Loves having a go at back-tracking defenders. And he's done well. Connor Bill clears it for his team.
That's a good attack from Tuggeranong. Quick break. Leland did well to get the cross in. It was good defending in the end too.
Well, he avoids conceding the corner, but gives another one of these long throws to Kambah.
Don't know which is the
what's
the worst evil.
Falco again then into the danger area, misses everyone. Thumped clear. Mohamed Shaibu back doing the defensive work for his team. Good work from the striker, not just about goals. But you keep thinking that someone's going to get a touch on one of those eventually, and it's going to cause problems. Walker's won it, Neelan's brought it down, and got past one tackle. And past Harry Martin, but couldn't keep it in play. Lively start to the second half for Steve Neelan. He was on the periphery in the first half, Andy, but he's come to life a bit now.
Well, I think he's in a more central role now, and although I still think Tuggeranong are maybe playing that one up front with four across the line, it's maybe two kind of closer to up front, but I think he has more impact when he roams around those central positions.
That's what he is at the moment. He switched with Jambrek to take up that role.
The first half he was playing wide, and it was almost a position where safety looking after the Connor Knight's left back.
He doesn't do an awful lot of defensive work, Stevie Neelan, in terms of tracking back, but he doesn't need to, because there's 10 others on the park that are doing it for him. He's up there to do what he's there to do. In some respects, it's like that Ronaldo aspect, isn't it? You've got a player who can score, leave him up there to do what he does, and here he is again. He's got in behind, half a chance to take on Connor Bill and get the shot away and force a really good save from Christian Nell. Well, that's that in a snapshot. Tuggeranong still have it alive. Good stop from the goalkeeper.
Tell you what, it was a great save, because that was going into the far corner. That was a great piece of football.
Mitch Stevens recognises that with his players as well, with Stephen. He doesn't want him to track back. He's just like, well, stay up there and do your work in that.
And it was a good ball from Romeo too, really well weighted, and just ran on Stevie's path.
He's dovetailed really nicely into this team, Romeo Jambrek. Sam Walker's enjoying it as well, I think. He's got a couple of 3 speedsters in front of him in Jambrek, Neelan and Stevens. Enables him to just rove around and ping passes. Well-balanced side, this United outfit. O'Connor, though, pretty balanced themselves, and this game is in the balance. 1-1. Juna. Lavella. Switch to Driscoll. Not been able to see James Driscoll much as an overlapping force. When they won the league a couple of years ago, his rampaging runs down one side and Harrison Palic down the other were the defining features. When the Knights used to counter-attack, and you'd have Kresic one side, Manda the other. 3 of those not here today. Palic on the bench. Pax Manda's feeling a bit poorly, unfortunately, so wish him well. Michael Adams is going to get a yellow card here, I think, or someone. His card's out. Who's he going to give this to? Humbu John. Not sure. He's brandishing it to someone. I think it might be Michael John, perhaps. Over on that far side. To double check that one for you. But yeah, Fakedi Manda's ill today, so if you're watching Fakedi, hope you're getting better soon. Luke Stevens' afternoon is over. Alessandro Pena coming on for him. Niko Kresic coming back from an ankle injury on the bench.
He could be a good introduction. I worked with Nico when he was a young kid, and
it's a definite match winner.
Yeah.
That's too close to Nell. No Osesura Hegi at the moment either. He's still overseas. They've got some quality to bring back into this squad, the Knights. Got some quality out there already. Do you think there was a hangover after their cup exit, though, wasn't there? I think it was a horrible wake-up call for them, and I think it's taken them a few weeks to get over it. Jambrek 2-0 up in that game, of course, against Gungahlin United, lost 5-2 against a Gungahlin team that now are struggling big style. Good win by Josh Pedersen. Walker
did well there. Now finds himself at centre half for us.
Roving brief. Falco. Nealon. Flick didn't quite come off. Might for Sakamoto here from Pedersen's pass, if he can keep it in. And he can. Can he find the right ball towards the far post? Pena was lining one up. An important touch away. Driscoll could complete the clearance. Well, after a bright start to the second half by the Knights, Tuggeranong slowly taking over the territory in the possession.
They are. Right now they look like the team most likely to score next. Football, as we know, Russ, is a funny game.
Couple of goals for you, Andy, to let everyone know about. Down in Solamad, Ugali 5, Gungahlin United 1. Another goal for Ugali. Here's one for you, though, from the AIS. Tigers 1, Croatia 0. Massive goal in the context of the league championship at the moment. That for the Tigers, put them right back in the mix on 10 points if it stays that way.
Monero will be happy with that.
If the rest of the league will be happy with that. If it stays that way. Tigers 1, Croatia 0. Ugali, their points are secure now 5-1, their biggest ever NPL win. And you wonder how many they might get before the end. Against the Gungahlin side, are we thinking, well, just want to get back on the coach and go home right now? They've still got over half an hour or so to play. Driscoll. It's hard not to feel happy for Ugali, though, Andy. Last year they suffered on the end of a couple of absolute hidings when they came to Canberra with depleted sides and numbers. So the fact they can ham one out to the league champions, no less, will probably vindicate their travelling. Ahmed Shaibu, probably a case of them turning around to the opposition and go, well, now you know how we felt a couple of times, because Gungahlin gave them an absolute tonking at the AIS last year, and they're getting a bit of their own back.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me. You know, they look a decent side, and they're going to give problems to a lot of teams that maybe take them lightly or aren't ready for them or don't like travelling to Griffith. If you're not ready to do that, if you're not prepared to go to war against Ugali, you're going to have a tough day. And because the one thing they have in their side, and they showed that in the cup match, is a lot of character, a lot of will to win, a lot of spirit. And they're traits you can't buy sometimes.
Huge amount of spirit in that side. They need some spirit here. There's another yellow card coming out here. It might be Connor Bill who is retreating. Belconnen has scored again in the women's. ANU Neil Belconnen 7. Still 1-1 as Canberra and Olympic in that one. And Gungahlin lead 5-0 against Tuggeranong. 2 cards. Quick succession for the Knights. Cole Falco to take this free kick. Sakamoto. You can see what was in his mind. Going to lay it off to Sam Walker. Didn't really work for him. I put some sun cream on at half-time, Andy, but I'm getting a bit red here, I think. I'm cooking.
How's it feeling?
Well, I'm like that roast pork that was in the canteen. Medium rare at the moment. Not quite ready.
I didn't notice because I haven't been looking that closely at you, but I can tell now.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Michael John to send it towards Chiruti. Cooks there. Slip, slop, slap and all that, and it still gets you. Unforgiving the winter sunshine in Canberra. Tell you what, good job we don't commentate in the Northern Territory or something, isn't it?
Oh. I was up in Cairns a few weeks ago for a youth tournament up there with ex-Socceroo Frank Farina, who was the former Socceroo head coach and the first Socceroo to ever play in Italy, and was up there in Cairns.
I've been there as well. Lovely part of the world.
Oh, it's a fantastic part of the world.
Incredibly hot, though.
Oh.
We played an end-of-season game there when I was with Tuggeranong United on an end-of-season trip.
Yeah, that was...
And we walked out of the changing room with Scott Conlon, and he said, go warm up. I walked out the changing room and went, I think I'm done.
It was hot.
It was pretty warm. Peña's ball out here towards Sakamoto. Juna came across, won it, and trod on it at the same time. 2 ahead of Sakamoto if he wants to go. He does. Neelan. Loose one from him. Juna. Neelan. Able to turn. Sakamoto. Flag stays down here. Not a bad ball towards the far post. No one's gambled in a Tuggeranong shirt. Michael John. Harry Martin played it to himself, I think. Lavella. Chances few and far between the second half. The best of them, Stevie Neelan's curler. Really well saved by Christian Nell.
It was a great effort. Even better save, to be honest with you, Russ.
Pedersen loses out to Adams. Tuggeranong midfielder sticks to his task and forces Adams back. That's a good play from Pedersen. Lavella happy to go home to restart again. Cotterville. Shadows have lengthened over the pitch, near enough the whole pitch for the players. Yellow card coming out here for Cole Falco for kicking the ball away. I think he felt that he didn't hear the whistle went very quickly. That's his 3rd yellow card of the campaign for the centre-back. He's close to a suspension. We've seen a weekend of that. Saw Giuseppe Tyne get sent off for kicking the ball away, 2nd yellow card. Saw Timmy Santos in the reserves here, and the 23s get sent off for exactly the same thing, 2nd yellow card. The referees have been really hot on it this weekend. There was 3 of them in the Clearwaters derby yesterday.
So they should be.
3 yellow cards for kicking the ball away.
Look, if you miss time a tackle or you're a little bit late with a tackle, that's... Managers don't mind that, but just stupid things like back chatting or kicking the ball away or some kind of silly time wasting, then as a manager I'd be upset. It's just stupid and no need.
Daniel Grove comes on for Luke Sakamoto, Tuggeranong's 2nd change of the match. Kobe Yari over this free kick. Grove into instant defensive mode. Can Yari find the delivery he needs to whip ball in? It's not a bad one. No one in the black shirt able to get on the end of it. So a like-for-like full-back change. Been another goal at the AIS, and it's gone to Kambah, Croatia. Tigers 1, Croatia 1.
How's that for everybody else, Russ?
Well, I mean, a draw's not too bad for everybody else. But the way Kambah, Croatia have been playing this season, don't be surprised if they turn that one around. Midway through the second half here, Tuggeranong looking to turn this one around. Jambrek off from Driscoll. Puts Kambah, Croatia a point ahead of Monero at the top of the table. Puts Tigers on 8. Very congested from 2nd down. Tigers, as I mentioned before, the kickoff they could do with a win today. They played a game more than the top 2. They find themselves 5 points adrift.
Great play from Romeo there. That was fantastic. I like him when he drops in a little deeper. Started the game up front, Russ, and I'm not sure that's him, but that's...
Well, one back by Michael John. Michael Adams. Rare loose one from him, and Peterkin 3 ahead of him here in Tuggeranong shirts. Peña. Jambrek. Peterkin sliding to meet it and met Yari. Now it's a chance for the Knights, 4 on 4. Adams, Driscoll, first time we've seen him on the overlapping run today. And he almost found Chiruti. Falco with the extravagant clearance. Now Walker can maybe break for Tuggeranong. Peña. Neelan's gone. And Juno, very important interception. becoming a bit more open as the game progresses midway through the second half. Adams loose again. More loose touches in the last minute and a half than we've seen from about 3 years from Michael Adams.
Neither side can string 2-3 passes together, and the side that does, it gets a little bit composed and starts taking charge of this game, will win it.
Well, you mentioned in the first half, this one's there for the taking for either of this side, and 3 points might be crucial. Junna clips it in towards Chiruti. Really important header from Peterkin. Yari sees his effort blocked. Shabby Davis thought he was fouled. The Velas won it back. Junna's delivered. Ahmed Chabu's jumped, and Chiruti.
Poor effort in the end.
Didn't help himself.
Could have maybe taken another touch, and it's just kind of the body position was not good at all once he took that final strike.
Changes for the Knights, the first couple of the game for them. Nick Dahl and Niko Kresic are coming on. Michael John, I think it's Michael Adams coming off.
You know what? You can come and help me. So you can change the captain.
So possibly a change of shape. Nick Dahl will probably go into the holding midfield role. Might just be that Harry Martin slots further forward. And you'd expect Niko Kresic to come out on this wing where Michael John was. Switch sides, if you know what I mean. Pena. So change to the bench. Niko Kresic, match winner. Nick Dahl brings some semblance of order amongst the chaos in the middle, perhaps, Andy. Neat and tidy, number 6.
Need someone in there to hold it.
Pena tries to turn. Kresic's first involvement. He's been given the captain's armband as well, Niko Kresic.
He's one of the elder statesmen, I think. He's still a young lad, but he's quite experienced at this level.
116th NPL game for him today. Chiruti. Yari does well to get away from Pedersen and then slides in Chiruti. Yari has it back again. Junna. Yari once more. Left it behind. Knights, though, starting to enjoy themselves a little bit more. Starting to put a bit of pressure on the Tuggeranong defence. Junna, look a foul throw from here. Foot looked across the line.
Tuggeranong that were comfortable before. Starting to get a little sloppy. Let's see if they can pick this up.
It's not sticking, is it?
No.
It's coming straight back, which is probably not what they want. Harry Martin, good for the Knights, though. Junna comes off Grove. Now's a chance for Tuggeranong to break with Pena. Neelan. Well read by Nick Dahl. So it knew exactly what Neelan wanted to do, but it's not helped them too much because it left them exposed on the other flank. Well covered by Ahmed Shaibu. Stevens might be thinking about another change just to see if he can get something back. Dylan Burkray, Zach Lawrence, there is 2 outfield players. Walker's now taken over the leading the line duties. Connor Bill. Martin. One back by Emmanuel. He's quick and that's cynical from Bill. Now, I don't know who got the card early on, but this one will be for Connor Bill. Can't have been him that got one earlier then, because he would have been off.
Definitely not.
So we'll have to figure out who that was a bit later on.
But it was a challenge that, as a defender, one that you have to make, and you take one for the side. If he lets him go there, Tuggeranong are in.
Might still be from this free kick. Pena over it, sending Peterkin and Falco forward. Flat to ball. Falco with a flick on. Might come for Walker. Extravagant flick on. It will be a throw. For the umpteenth time this afternoon, here comes Cole Falco. Will one of these pay off?
That's the million-dollar question, mate.
Here he goes to launch it into the penalty area once more. Peterkin was the target. Stabbed away. Jambrek beaten to it by Ahmed Shaibu. Look at the send Cheruti in Grove. Quick scan to see where Kresic was. Yari. Martin. Might fancy it. Charged down by Pena. Neelan doing the defensive work. The Knights having the better of it at the moment. Looking the more likely. Junna. Lovely deep ball in towards Ahmed Shaibu. Good defending. Falco again, but every loose ball has been picked up by a black shirt. Lavella. That's a lovely slide rule pass. Kresic. Can't curl one from here. Does. Wasn't too far away, but warning signs for Tuggeranong United.
Lamine Yamal-esque, wasn't it? Nice curl from Nico, but that's the quality he has. You know, he's great running at people with the ball, and from this side, coming inside, and he's got a beautiful, nice left foot. He's a weapon for them, you know. I don't know.
But they're finishing the stronger, aren't they, Andy, at the moment?
They are.
Looking the most likely to score again. A quarter of an hour plus a couple of minutes to go. Lavella. Here's Kresic again. Junna. Getting a lot of joy on this side, Christian Junna.
Well, there's a few Tuggeranong players that look out on their feet, so I don't know if the schedule over the last few weeks has taken its toll a little bit, but there's a couple of them that look a little bit heavy-legged.
Junna. Looking for Ahmed Shaibu. Allowed to turn, which is often fatal. Tuggeranong get away with it again, and now Steve Neelan can have a go, and he's almost got away from Nick Dahl. Still the omnipresent threat on the break, isn't he?
Always.
And as much as the Knights are dominating at the moment and looking most likely with Neelan going the other way, they will be wary.
Well, it's that old phrase, you know, speed kills, and always a threat.
Jabby Davis was trying to get through the middle of the park again. Kresic, Dahl. Took a horrible bobble. It's a bit rough in that area of the park here at Kambah, where Nick Dahl tried to play it through. That side from Walker. Now Neelan's got half a yard here and he's onside. A chance to take on the defence. Steve Neelan stabs it in towards Jambrek. Didn't make the most of that, Tuggeranong. Unusually hesitant, Neelan, to take his man on. It's nice from Cheruti. Didn't quite pay off, though. Pena. Seen out by Dahl, kept it in. Did he? No, he didn't. You thought Steve Neelan there was going to cut inside and have a go again.
To be fair to him, I'm not sure. I'd have to see the replay, but it was either second, third touch let him down, or I think he got a slight bobble as well, so the pitch didn't help him there. But
seemed caught in two minds.
Yeah, it was a good break, and should have done better.
Game's still up for grabs. The point's still up for grabs. Junna. Well, that's late from Grove. Wasn't a pretty one. He'd be lucky to get away with that. Daniel Grove. That was a sore one for Christian Junna. He might get away with it as well, which is probably shouldn't have. Wasn't a pretty tackle at all.
I've seen less in this game being given a yellow card.
Well, I think he's going to have a chat with Benjamin Cracknell here, and I think they'll figure out that it was done before Daniel Grove, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a yellow here. It wasn't a very pretty tackle. It was not high enough to warrant, I don't think, the ultimate sanction, but here is the yellow card that's going to come for the fullback. And that's a pretty straightforward one from where I was. You'd have dished a few of those out, Andy?
Yeah, I was always... this one was late. I was kind of always early. There's a difference.
Get in there before the ball gets there.
Yeah.
Vinny Sanchez is on for Kobe Yari.
So we haven't
third sub for the Knights. Niko Kresic over this almost had a baby on the pitch. Quick work from Mum. Kresic. Cook's come, elected to punch, didn't get much on it and got incredibly lucky as it bounced back off Daniel Grove and now sent Steve Nealon the other way. Here he goes again. Nealon drifting past one. Gets lucky with the rebound. Continues on his way. Might come for Jambrek. Skewed it across goal. And O'Connor Knights will get rid of it. I once had a goal disallowed in an exhibition. It's like a cup final.
You did here?
Yeah, no, this was back at home. I'll tell you about it in a second. They're on the run again, Tuggeranong. Junor away. Pena to swing it into the middle. Away by Lavella. Comes out for Grove. And again Grove. Martin will bring it for the Knights. It was in a Charity Shield match back in Wales.
Yep.
And someone swung over across and climbed high in the air and nodded one in the top corner. A great header. Thought, great goal that is. Referee blew the whistle. There was a small toddler. Come back to it again. Here's Davis into the area. Might come for Nealon. The ricochet hits the post. Could have gone anywhere. And Connor Bill will get it away. Fortune favours the Knights. Just to finish that story, there was a small child, about 3 or 4 years old, that was stood in the 6-yard box just in front of where I headed the ball and nearly landed on them. Well, didn't even know they were there. As I go to the referee, what's the problem with that one? He goes, oh, small child.
The child can't go.
I don't know idea.
What were the parents?
Wandered from behind the goal somewhere. I mean, over the stand, over the hoardings.
And the keeper's kid.
Who knows what it was, but anyway. Bizarre things, as you say, what you see at football, but how unlucky was that, or lucky, depending on whose point of view you look at.
Unlucky for you, Russ.
Well, no, that one's unlucky about Stephen Nealon. They would have hit the post. Lucky for the Knights, unlucky for Tuggeranong. Here he goes again. He's still full of running. Finney Sanchez tried to grab the shirt. Didn't get anywhere near him to do so. Lavella could bring it away. Time the enemy of both of these sides now. 10 to play. Is there a match winner between these two teams at this venue? You wonder. Goals around the grounds. ANU 0, Belconnen 9 in the Women's Premier League.
9-0.
Gungahlin 7, Tuggeranong United 0. And perhaps an important one here. West Canberra Wanderers 1, Canberra Olympic 2. That's in towards Cheruti.
That's a more normal scoreline, Russ. The 7-0s and the 9-0s, and I don't quite understand that.
There is
something wrong with the competition when that happens.
Well, there's a real defining line in the women's competition, unfortunately. Junor sends it in, and Tuggeranong ANU on the wrong side of that at the moment. Ugadi still lead by 5 goals to 1. 1-1 between Croatia and Tigers. If you wonder what this meant to the teams out here today, look at the reaction to the O'Connor bench to the fact that they've been not awarded a throw-in, Andy. It matters.
And it should matter. Every moment should matter. Not just if a team's doing great or not so great. Every throw-in, every kick, every header. In Europe, it's a matter of life or death. That's the difference. It doesn't have to be that way here. Such extremities, but if your mindset is that way, then you have 11 mindsets that way. You're a hard team to beat.
Tuggeranong have a free kick. They've seen off a mini storm from O'Connor Knights. Now they're looking to do something themselves. Jambrek. Dahl comes across to meet him. 2 former Gungahlin United players clashing. Pena's won it back. He's worked hard since he's come on. Davis. Pedersen. Jambrek. It still might come for Jambrek. It does come for Jambrek, and that's a fine save. Xabi Davis opens up, and oh dear, the finish let him down. Perhaps Christian Nell got the luck he deserved, because that was a wonderful save after Jambrek looked like he was in. And Xabi Davis, well, once he got it back on that left foot, you thought the target was there to be hit.
Good play from Tuggeranong. Romeo did great. Xavi did great until that final shot, but to get himself into the goal scoring position was fantastic.
It might not surprise you to know that he's only ever scored one NPL goal, Xabi Davis.
There you go. Colin Knight's just got lucky there. Doesn't get called for a foul. Needham was away.
Can one of these sides step up and make the difference? Lavella. Flat ball in. Stabbed away by Falco. Helped on by Davis. Pena. Everything's to this side, and he's got himself a free kick. There's a feeling around, I've got a feeling around, and I can feel it around the ground, that there's going to be a good chance for one of these teams to win this.
I think there's a goal.
Might well be.
What have we got left? 5?
Just over that. On for Walker. 7 to play, or 6 and a bit to play. Neelan to send it into the middle, and there was a chance.
Corner Tuggeranong.
It's a good ball in from Steve Neelan. Falco had chucked himself at the ball up there, and Tuggeranong over corner. Pena to take. The sun finally gives us a little bit of a relief by dropping behind the trees for the last 6 minutes or so. Pena's delivery deep towards the far post. Nell punched it away.
Romeo's done great again.
He's done brilliantly to win it back, hasn't he, Jambrek? It's come off of Driscoll, and now here goes Ahmed Shaibu. A lot of space for Nico Kresic if he can find him, and that's where it's gone. And Kresic might be in behind here. On his own. Might have to do it on his own, Nico Kresic. Waiting for support to arrive now, and it comes from Sanchez. Back for Kresic. And Tuggeranong back in numbers.
Great defending in the end by Tuggeranong.
And now they might break. Juna got there. Walker thought he was caught late. Sanchez stabbed away by Peterkin. Feels like a cup tie, this.
It does, doesn't it?
Both sides really want to win it. Both sides feel it's winnable.
Again, whoever can hold on to it in those last few minutes, get a nice passage of play, hold the ball, still turnover has just been way too high all game.
Harrison Palic for Christian Juna. Some extra cover perhaps for the pace of Neelan on the break here. The fresh legs of Palic. He's a bit of a speedster himself. He's going to get 5 minutes or 4 minutes plus stoppage time. Can he affect things going forward? It's not a bad throw to start with. Came off Ahmed Shaibu. Peterkin. Pena. Falco back for Peterkin. Tuggeranong playing a risky game here, and Ahmed Shaibu's offside. They've got away with that.
Got lucky there, Tuggeranong.
They did, overplayed it at the back. Got caught. Callum Cook with the free kick. Getting into territory now where anything is possible. Wouldn't say that someone can win it from here, because we saw only just last week that you only need 5 minutes of stoppage time for a couple of quick goals, don't you?
Tuggeranong on the attack again.
Manuel twisting and turning and delivering. Neelan couldn't get a touch. It'll come out for Grove. Heavy first touch. Not a bad second ball. Emmanuel will pick it up on the far post. Charged down by Driscoll. He's got a bit fortunate there, Emmanuel. Pena slips it in. Come back to the young Chilean.
He's got to put it in the mixer there, Russ.
There's plenty to hit in the mixer.
Yeah.
Nico Kresic for the Knights. Falco. Safety first, not a bad ball with it, but Jambrek's come from an offside position. A reminder that if you want more football, feel free to tune into the Canberra-Croatia-Majura women's game that kicked off at 4:30. There's been a late goal at the AIS, and it's gone the way of Tigers. Tigers 2, Croatia 1. Massive goal for the Tigers, a massive goal for the league table standings. Tigers in front with time ticking away. Jambrek wants a handball against Driscoll, gets it. It's a big goal, isn't it?
Will a set piece decide this one, Russ?
Well, Pena will take it. Is this the moment that Tuggeranong will be craving? Pena to take 5 Tuggeranong players in the area. It needs one quality ball. The drum beats in the background, you can see. Can Pena provide it? It's a deep one towards Falco's up from the back. That's a great header, Nick Dahl. Retreating as well. Consummate defensive quality. Really good defensive header. Still the danger there, though.
And much needed. There's a man right behind him. If he misses that goal, it's a goal to Tuggeranong. They've still got another chance here.
Yeah, Falco was steaming in. Pena to take again. Everyone in front of Christian Nell, making life difficult for the goalkeeper. In towards Peterkin. Nell got a hand on it. Cerruti will clear. At the expense of a throw. Will Falco go across to launch one in? 30 seconds to play.
Looks like it.
Last throw in normal time. We'll see how long they've got left after this. Into the box again. Might come up for Davis, and that's a good shot and a good save. Tipped over the crossbar. We're into almost time added on territory, of which there will be 3 minutes.
That was a beautiful strike. Great save again.
3 to play. Pena for Tuggeranong. Tension ratcheted up again at Kambah 2. Into Walker, helps it on. Peterkin was there. Vinny Sanchez sliced his clearance. Kresic can bring it away. They don't do boring and mundane at this venue, do they?
No.
There's always something on the cards at the end.
People still going, there's teams still going for a winner here.
Driscoll has it back from Sanchez. Was he caught late? Nothing doing. Tuggeranong to break, perhaps, with Pena. Skips past one. Jambrek. Connor Bill stands strong. Another throw for Tuggeranong. Cole Falco beckoned forward by his coaching staff again. It is close to halfway, but, well, for want of sounding like a broken record, he can throw this into the box. And he will throw it into the box. Cole Falco, for the 150th time in this match, launches one towards Jambrek. And we will get another corner out of it.
They're holding firm so far, the Knights.
Well, they've seen off 90 seconds of stoppage time at the moment. Pena again. Tuggeranong knocking on the door, sensing a winner. In towards Falco, who got the header up. And Nell will cover what he got to aim for. Oh, it's shanked off the side of the boot. It's not a good clearance by Christian Nell. Gives Tuggeranong the ball back. Gives them a chance to go forward once more. It's full time at Solomad. Ugali 5, Gungahlin United 1. They've given the league champions a walloping, and Gungalin's season continues to be a struggle. Kresic. Ahmed Shaibu rolls his man and stabs it for Cerruti. Can the Knights nick it at the end? Jenna Cerruti! Did Cook get a touch? Might not have. It's a goal kick. That was the moment for O'Connor.
Good move, good play. Didn't do bad, Cerruti. Caught it well, a little bit was never going in off the boot. He
it was always rising, wasn't it?
Leaning back as he hit it, but that was their chance.
Both sides with an opening to win it.
There's probably still one chance each in this game. What do you think, Russ?
What have we got left? We got a minute and a bit. A minute and a bit of pocket change. Have either side done enough to win it, Andy?
They have. There's been chances. There's been chances where either side could have won the game. I think Tuggeranong maybe have had clearer chances to actually win it, but
well, Nell's made 2 great saves, hasn't he, from Jan Breck and from Romeo, from Neelan rather. Is there one more in the locker? Peterkin, lovely ball over the top. Emmanuel to get to the byline and couldn't cut it back. Walker wanted a cutback. It's gone to Nell, and Hyunwoo John says it's on as even, and well, the chances might have been better for Tuggeranong United, but I think O'Connor Knights will argue that they did enough to deserve a point out of it, and that's what we've got, one each.
It was an entertaining game. Like we said, the game was here to be won by either side. It was a pretty even match, and in the end, I don't think either side will go home disappointed with. You're always disappointed you don't get the 3 points, but they take a point away each, and 2 decent performances.
Thanks, Andy. We're sure we'll have you on again at some stage as well. Tale of 2 penalties here. Michael Adams first, scoring from O'Connor Knights after 16 minutes. Steve Neelan responding 8 minutes later from the spot as well, which means it's on as even here. They're still going in the AIS. Croatia trailing by 2-1 to Tigers. Ugali have got their 3 points this afternoon. But here at Kambah 2 on Mother's Day, it's on as even. Tuggeranong United 1, O'Connor Knights 1.